guys, today I'm going to be adding lights to my Traxxas Slash. I don't even know if this video is going to be uploaded, but if it is, well then you guys will be experiencing me adding this kit right here to my Traxxas Slash. The reason why I'm adding this is because sometimes I end up flying my Slash I've been flying too many drones lately. Yeah, the reason is because sometimes I end up flying my car at night, and I usually can't see where it is, what direction it's going, whatever. So I want to add these lights.
You said flying again.
Did I?
Yes.
Let's add, you know what, let's do this. Let's add a flying counter. In the corner, I will add a flying counter. Every time I say flying, I will add one to that counter. How about that? Because I have not flown this, that was intentional, in a very long time, and I've just been flying drones lately. Anyway, yeah, so the kit that I'm going to be installing today is this kit right here. This comes from eBay. I'll show you the listing right now. The listing should be on the screen right now. As you can see, it's reasonably priced for what it is. It's supposed to connect to the ESC and the servo in order to know when you're turning the car, when you're braking, when you're accelerating and stuff like that. Anyway, yeah, we're going to go and install this thing. I've never done this before, so this is going to be my first time, and you guys are going to be joining me. And so is Ryan here.
I'm Alex. I am Alex. Hi. Hi, I'm
I
Alex.
knew that. I knew it as soon as I said it. Yeah, anyway, we have Alex here, not Ryan. We have Alex here helping me film this video. So if the video is complete terrible and it's shaky as goodness jelly,
I will try not to.
then we could all blame him and then type in the comments, Alex, you are awesome.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, let us get to adding lights to my...
Oh my god.
Alright, so let's go and unscrew this thing. I need to get access to the cables that go to the servo or the steering motor and the ESC. So let's go and undo the screw right now, and hopefully we could add these lights without any hassles. Rightio, so there's one screw done. By the way, thank you very much, Alex, for helping us film.
Well, I've got nothing better to do.
It's a hard nut to climb.
Awesome. Anyway, let's go and unscrew this as well. There we go. So we are halfway done. Let's go and take out that thing. Right now, let's unscrew the main bit thing. I don't know what to call anything. I don't know what anything is called on this car. Alright, and here we have access to the receiver. There it is. Awesome. So, let's see here. I need to figure out what connects to what, so I can wire this thing up. Alright, so let's see what we got here. So inside this package right here we have the controller itself. Now this goes out to all the parts of the car, and we've got the lights at the end. So we'll figure out where all those lights go later, but for now let's go and add our controls for this thing so it knows where the car is going and etc. So let's take a look at this instruction manual right here. Let's see. Sorry guys, I don't know what you missed, but basically I just grabbed my controller, and then after that I got my battery and I plugged it in. I don't know, apparently the camera stopped recording, so yeah, that's all I did. Anyway, let's go. I'm gonna go and unplug one of the connections right now, and if I unplug one and it's the receiver still powers up, that means that I unplugged the servo. But if the receiver does not power up, then that means that I've unplugged the ESC. Confusing, but who cares? So let's go and unplug that connector right now, and then let's see what happens. Alright, as you can see, the light is on the receiver. That means that I just unplugged the steering motor, and then now I cannot control it. So if I turn this on, restart it. Now that it is green, it is connected, and as you can see, the steering does not work. That means we just unplugged the steering motor. So now if you turn this off, we could go and plug in this Y harness, which is really weirdly long. We're gonna go and plug this in somehow. So I believe this goes... How are we gonna do this? Okay guys, so while editing the video I realized that I explained how to do this absolutely terribly. I was still very much confused and didn't really know what I was doing, so I thought I would explain everything right now. As you can see, this is the finished product. We have our connections for the lights over there. The lights are already mounted onto the body at this point, but we'll go into detail on the lights later on. For now, as you can see, the controller is all wired up. We do have the cables all tucked into one bundle right there using a zip tie. And yeah, everything does work. Now I'm going to go and undo the zip tie and explain everything and how I connected it and stuff like that. Alright, so firstly we're going to take a look at the cables for the ESC. Now, this cable right here that I'm holding, this is a cable that comes from the ESC. So that is, of course, going from the VXL3S here. And then this is a cable that would normally plug directly into the receiver. However, it also needs to plug into the LED module. So instead of plugging it directly into the receiver, I've plugged mine into the Y harness's female connector. And as you can see, this female connector leads all the way down to this the splitter part right here. Now the other side goes into my waterproof box, and that's what plugs into channel 2 of the receiver. So once again, this is the cable from the ESC. That plugs into the female connector of the splitter, and the other side of the splitter goes to the receiver. The tail end, or the end with just one cable going out of it, will plug into channel 2 of the light module, which is right here. Now in this light module right here, channel 2 is the one that's closest to the connectors, so that connector will plug into that empty slot right there. So in terms of the steering, the connections are pretty much identical, but I will go through it again just so you guys have a clear idea of what you're gonna do to get this thing working. So here we have the cable from our servo. The servo is that blue thing right there. Now that goes into the Y harness's female connector. As you can see, that is similar to the ESC. It is plugged into the female part of the connector, and that goes to this splitter part here, while the other side goes into the receiver and plugs into channel 1. The tail end then plugs into channel 1 of the light module. As you can see, this lighting module has its channel 1 socket further away from the connectors for the lights, and is the slot that is currently unoccupied. So quickly, servo connector plugs into female of the wire harness. Other side of wire harness goes into the receiver, plugs into channel 1, and then the tail end plugs into channel 1 socket of the light controller. Where the LEDs plug in will vary quite a bit depending on what light module you have, so if it came with an instruction manual, I recommend you just refer to that. If you have the exact same light module as me, and you lost your manual, write a comment down below saying that you need the manual or something, and I'll see if I could find it. I may not have the manual anymore by the time you comment, but if I do, then I'll see if I can post a picture maybe up on the internet or something for you guys to be able to see how to wire this thing up. Alright, so now that the car is properly wired up, we need to go and neaten up all these cables, because obviously we don't want to be driving the car with all these wires everywhere, probably going to get run over by the tire or something like that. So, let's go and neaten up these cables after I plug in this connector right here. Alright, so I plugged in the connector, now let's neaten all this up. It's pretty easy to do. All you want to do is pretty much just grab all the cables together, just fold them up as much as you can. Just like that, as you can see. Push them off to the side a bit. Grab some more of the excess wire. And then I'm going to use a zip tie right here. And I'm going to go and zip tie these cables together. Oh, maybe I'll make it a little bit tighter just in case. There we go. Alright, so now we just cut off the excess of the zip tie. And then there we are. As you can see, that looks a lot better now than it did before. And just my personal tip, I put my LED module above my receiver box. This means that it is not waterproof, of course, but you know, I don't drive my car in the water anyway. I don't want to risk getting parts rusty and stuff. I've done it once and I regretted it. Anyway, that's the story for next time if I do make a video on that. So as you can see, we have finished everything to do with the electronics and the controlling of the lights. Now we need to set up the lights themselves. Now I've already gone through the process of doing that, so I'm going to go show you what I did. As you can see here, here's the back, here is the front. Now mine only came with 4 sets of LEDs, those being the headlights, the left and right blinkers, and a brake light. Unfortunately, mine does not include a reversing light, but I don't really know if that's needed anyway. Maybe I could add it in the future, so that's not as big of a deal, but at least we have kind of the primary lights installed. Alright, so looking around, here I have the 2 red LEDs for the brake lights, and then after that I have the turn signals here, and then here, and that's all the lights at the back. Moving on to the front, I have the 2 headlight lights here, and here, and I have the 2 turn signals here and here, obviously. Now, the way that I actually installed these lights is actually quite interesting. I just used hot glue, so I will show you what I did right now. Alright, so looking in the front, we're going to take a look at the first turn signal. This would normally be the left turn signal. As you can see, there's just a lot of hot snot there keeping it in. Now, this hot glue is actually really strong, surprisingly, and it's ample strong enough to hold in that LED. So as you can see, we just have the LED there, and that's just, the cables are just glued to the top part of the case, chassis, whatever you want to call it, the body. And as you can see, the cable splits down here, and this is where it would normally plug into the LED controller for the blinkers. But it also splits off here and it continues onto the back. Now I've had to extend the cable here because it wouldn't reach all the way back. So I've just extended the cable here, of course, and it runs through here, and that goes all the way to the back left blinker. Also covered in a lot of hot snot. A similar story for the headlights. We have the two lights up the front, they go to the middle, and then it goes all the way to this connector here, which plugs it into the light controller. The right blinker is the exact same thing as the left one, and the brake light is the exact same thing as the headlight. And that's basically it, just hot snot everywhere. Or hot glue, whatever your preference may be. Okay, all we need to do now is wait for it to get dark. Well, it kind of is dark enough now, and we can see what the lights look like. Alright guys, so it's now nighttime, so we could test the RC car's lights. Let's give it a shot. And straight off the bat, the brake lights work perfectly. Now you do need to gain some speed before they'll work, so if I just go straight now, and then stop, the brake lights will not activate. It's just gonna go dim. But if you do actually apply some throttle and then brake, they do go bright, like they should. As you can see, when braking, the lights react perfectly. So now let's try out the turn signals. So let's come a bit closer. Right, so let's see what happens if we turn left. You can see the left blinker starts flashing. Now it will turn right, and the right blinker starts flashing. Alright, so let's turn around. There we go. So looking up the front of the car, we do have our two very bright headlights, which actually look quite real from the camera's view. And of course we also have our little blinkers, so the one on the left and the one on the right. Alright, so let's drive this thing around. Okay guys, so thank you very much for watching. I really need to stop driving my car now. Dogs are going absolutely insane all around me. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you were trying to install some lights onto your car, I hope that I helped you a bit. And if you were just curious about lights on an RC car, well then I hope I entertained you. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.